Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we drink a bottle of Halloween wine.
Spooky wine. And whine about our crazy, busy, working mommy lives.
Mm-hmm.
And our children and all the things that come with it, which in this episode includes Halloween.
That's right. Halloween is fun, but it comes with a lot of things to whine about. So I was in good old Target the other day and saw a 19 Crimes that had Frankenstein's face on it. So who could resist? It says Frankenstein wasn't a monster. He was just upset people didn't want to hang out. So next time an 8-foot tall guest arrives, pour him a glass. Ooh. There's a QR code on the back here and it says if you scan it, it brings him alive. Hold on. We're going to check this out in a second.
We're going to try it.
Oh, I wonder if they have other monsters.
Ooh, it's
Do you have to? It's not doing anything.
Oh. Tap to it. It's just slow.
Yeah. That tracks. Oh, my word. Tell us, friend, what year were you born? This takes the magic away right here. Point your camera at the label. That's kind of cool.
I'm alive.
That's hilarious. I wonder if it'll...
Dark berries. Rich mouth feel. Bold Cabernet.
He's describing the wine for us.
Wine. Good. Cheers.
That's amazing. Okay, we need to
Bold
find the
Cabernet.
other monsters. Oh, yeah. Maybe I should do it from the beginning. Let's see.
Do you want me to hold the bottle and then you...
Oh, I thought it was...
She hate me like the others.
Oh, he says different things.
Love this wine.
That's amazing. All right. That's enough out of you, Frankenstein. So, Cabernet.
Cabernet.
We were going to pull out the onesies today for you, but it's like 80 degrees in my upstairs, and it's 90 degrees outside.
Sarah say it's pretty close to that outside today. It's supposed to be our last very hot day.
Ooh, this is good.
So, yeah.
I approve.
It smells really good.
Yes, we're going to have a record high today on October 12th.
That is very good.
I know. That's probably one of my favorites.
That's dangerous.
I know. That's like, it's literally juice is what it is. Halloween. It's better as the kids get older, but boy, is it rough when they're all little.
Getting all the costumes, buying all the candy, which is now like
that is still rough.
Expensive.
How much did you spend on Ari's costume this year?
I don't even know. I bought it a long time ago.
Okay.
She got obsessed when the newest Descendants movie came out. She got re-obsessed with watching all the Descendants movies, and she wants to be Mal. So we ordered like a one-piece zip-up thing. It's probably
like 40 to 60?
Yeah, I'd say like $40 probably by the time you count the wig.
Yeah.
Because she has purple hair, so we had to get a purple hair wig. And then...
You mean you don't want to get the dye back out?
And then trunk or treat stuff got sent home from school.
Yes.
And Ari loves to do that, but they require that if you're going to participate, you send in 200 pieces of candy, which is like a $35 bag. I was like, oh my God.
So I've had my fair share of school trunk or treats, and they will ask you to bring like one bag or 2 bags, but they never put like a size on it.
Ours put a size on it. It has to be 200 pieces.
200's a lot.
And there's it was a bag at, well, and here's part of the problem. I bought one at Walgreens. I didn't go like shopping around.
Yeah, that's
going to
be more
find the
expensive.
sales. But we happened to be at Walgreens doing something else, and convenience is worth it for me sometimes. So,
And I
don't
think
get out much.
I don't think you would have saved that much because
Yeah.
I've been buying. My pro tip is to try and sneak it into your grocery budget. So I've been buying a bag every week, and I'm spending 30 to 35 on the big bags.
Yeah.
And that's at a cheap grocery store.
Yeah, I want to say it was 30, maybe 35 after like.
Yeah, so it's probably about the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, you buy the costume
like,
and then you
damn.
have to buy bags of candy for your
Yeah.
house, and then you have to buy trunk or treat candy.
Yeah. I started saying I don't even buy candy for the house because I live in a condo townhome complex, and in a like within a richer subdivision neighborhood.
So do kids
nobody
not walk?
comes to
Oh my
our
God.
to our condos. They go to all the big houses.
I'd hit up
Around the
everything
lake.
though.
So
and condos are so close together. It's like
I mean,
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, for the first 2 years, I put out a little cauldron of candy on the front step just in case anybody came by, because we put out a ton of decorations. So it might look like
Right.
we participate.
Right.
But there's never any candy gone. So this year I said I'm not even buying any.
That's
'cause
crazy.
I'll just eat it.
That's crazy. So this year, I only have to dress 3 children because my oldest is getting to the point where he does not care.
He's too cool.
He's too cool for school.
Guys.
Eliana's like, but I can keep trick-or-treating, right? I don't have to stop next year when I'm 13, do I? And I'm like, we'll take that as it comes. We definitely we trick-or-treated long beyond when we were supposed to stop, and we only had one girl that really gave it away through the way that she looked. I think that 2 of the girls in our trick-or-treating group will get some eyeballs, but people are generally like, we'd rather they're doing that than going out and getting into trouble. So,
Yeah.
But all of that to say, Jack's costume already exists. We're using something that he got as a Christmas present, a construction hat, construction vest. He's good. I can just put regular clothes under that. Cool.
Yeah.
Silas had the idea to be an angel, and he wants Eliana to be the devil so that they're a pair. So I'm like, okay. I had a shirt with some flames on it that I got through Temu. It was one of those things where I was looking at it and I was like, it's only a few bucks, and if it is not a good shirt, then whatever.
Yeah.
I bought it for me. And I get it, and the fabric is just awful, and you can tell the zipper is going to rip off the first chance it gets. And so I go to get a refund, and they refund my money and tell me to keep the shirt. And I'm like, cool. So I pulled that out because it has flames on it, and I was like, let's do this for Eliana, and she can just wear leggings with it.
Yeah.
I bought them light up wings so that they can be seen, and his angel robe comes with a little halo. And then I had old devil horns, but I bought her a tail. Between the tail and Silas's, it's just a very basic, like, baptismal robe type thing, and a little tiny, like, the halo is not impressive. And both of them having light up wings, I spent between $60 and $70.
It's crazy.
And I've spent about $80 on candy because I bought a couple big bags for our house. And then I bought 3 smaller bags for Lucas since he won't trick or treat. I'm like, that's my deal. If you decide you don't want to trick or treat anymore, I will still buy you candy so you don't miss out. And now we'll have to buy candy for the school trunk or treat. So, yay. And those 2 bags obviously won't be enough.
Yeah.
But I invited anyone who wanted to come to our subdivision to come trick or treat with us. And so we have 2 other groups of people coming and bringing candy with them as well. So
that's good.
I thought that's pretty fair to ask. If
Yeah.
they're not going to be leaving any at their house, then they can just bring it here and we'll just all share the encumbrance. Yes, let's go trick-or-treating for hours, and you can come home with a sack of candy that cost me a couple $100 for feeding the neighborhood. But it's fun, and I do enjoy Halloween, and I do enjoy dressing up.
It is fun.
I have a lot of options to choose from this year.
I was going to do this with a black outfit because Ari's Mal, which is Maleficent's daughter.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But this thing is kind of painful, so now I don't know if I'm going to do
What
it.
if could you put something under it?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with it, but it's like,
Yeah.
It's tight here. It's like definitely made for a little kid's head.
It's too bad you have, well, no, I do. I have a black wig. So you could put the wig on top of your hair and it wouldn't be like super noticeable, and then you would have
I
padding.
wonder if I did like a big ol' updo and then I kind of stuck it on top
That
of
would
the
also,
crown.
yeah, that would be a good idea. I think that would be really cute for the two of you to do that together. Or you
Yeah.
could start out wearing the horns and take the horns
Just
off
take 'em
later.
off, yeah. I'm trying to remember if I even have I just wanted like a full black outfit because she wears that big black dress with the big sleeves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't put too much thought into it yet, obviously.
I have
I'm slacking. I have an Ursula dress, but not a Maleficent dress.
well, what you could do is wear, like, look up black wizard robe. That would
Yeah.
get pretty close.
Yeah.
That's on
I
Temu,
wonder if I still
but
have,
not much cheaper than Amazon.
wonder if my treasure chest has my MBU graduation robe. The question is, will I go all out and buy green face paint? Probably not. That sounds like a lot of work and a lot of mess.
You probably don't have to, though.
Okay.
Because Amanda always has face paint.
What?
It's not,
That's not
I
the
bet it
color
would cover a
palette.
face.
Yeah.
And then I have the
I could at least
powder.
do like eyes or something. Like,
Yeah, I have the
like a
powder.
little half mask or something.
Yes. Put it on thick. I have the white powder, and you put the powder on top of it. Good to go.
We might try that. I'll come over early. I liked ours a lot when they had the big light up house, but they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, it's just regular trick or treating now.
Dude,
so.
the way my neighbors decorate, I'm surprised they don't have one of those light up houses.
Yeah.
Like, they've got a million things out in their yard, and I love it. And that's my goal. Like, every year I want to buy like a couple new decorations until I have a yard full.
Yeah.
But they definitely have gotten a nice start on it. And then, so when we went out to see if we could see the Northern Lights,
Yeah.
the neighbor closer to me was out, and I hadn't really gotten to meet her yet. So she walked up and introduced herself. And I was looking at their house, and they now also have a giant skeleton. And I'm like, hold up. So both of you have giant skeletons? And she's like, yeah. I was like, I feel like this needs to be a cul-de-sac thing. Like, we need to be the cul-de-sac where every house
And
has
you
a
need to
giant
coordinate
skeleton.
scenes with them and stuff. I was on a walk in my neighborhood the other
Yes.
day, and I live in a lakeside community, and there was a woman whose pontoon boat was up on the trailer and in their driveway. They're obviously like prepping it to store for the
Mhm.
winter, and she was installing skeletons on it in a little like pirate scene. It was great.
I love that
I walked by and I said, love it.
Beautiful,
I
beautiful.
mean, she was putting scarves on them and eye patches and everything.
That's amazing. I love it.
So what a great way to use your boat. And then
Right.
there are rules about like not being allowed to park your boat in your driveway, but I bet
Yeah,
as a
surely they'll let
decoration
it
for
slide.
Halloween, they
Right.
should be
Yeah.
allowed.
And then they can, maybe that's why she did it. So she
Maybe,
could just be
yeah.
like, oh, it's part of my Halloween decorations.
It's just decor, you know,
Right.
just for 30 days.
Right. What else can we whine about? Maybe the fact that people like to fearmonger and say, check the candy for drugs. I can
I
tell
can
you.
imagine if you lived in a city, maybe be a little more careful. Maybe.
Well, and don't get me wrong.
But
There are some sick people out there.
Yes.
But what's funny about the drugs thing is they're not lying in those memes. Drugs are expensive. And if you're addicted to drugs and you're paying a lot of money for your drugs, try not to let Silas or Lucas hear me.
You're not gonna
want to do that. It's not, the funny is not going to be worth the cost.
True.
So.
I think the scarier possibility would be a complete accident of certain kinds of gummies winding up in candy. I have heard that.
That's
happen.
fair. Yes. Yes. Keep your gummies separate. Only use the ones that are already wrapped by the professional candy company.
That's right. If they don't say Haribo on them, don't eat them.
That's amazing.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I'm going to whine about something.
Okay.
When I was buying groceries this last week, and we always do pickup now because it's just way too convenient, I put a bag, there's an app, I put a bag of the Reese's pumpkins in the cart. Wasn't going to do it, but I was like, you know what, let's do it. I got regular Reese's.
No.
Mm-hmm. And maybe...
As a replacement?
Well, and this is the thing. They will check with you before they make a replacement.
Mm.
But it was my husband's week. And I didn't ask him yet, so I'm not accusing anyone of anything.
Accusing you, Brandon.
But
How dare you?
But if they did, Brandon, ask you if it was an acceptable substitution, it is not.
It never
It is not an acceptable. I want pumpkins. So I thought maybe I'll just try again next week.
Do different things.
I didn't know they had different modes. That's even better.
We've been decorated for Halloween since August 1st. So
Well, I waited until the last week of September,
yeah,
but I did set them out. Oh, this is kind of funny. So I was talking with my boss. I have a male boss this time. And he's got a house to himself right now. And he said that, he's like, I need to hang up a couple of pictures and things. Like he moved in a few months ago, like nothing like crazy, but he's like, the walls are looking bare. I need to decorate. Right. Yeah. And I said, well, it's Halloween. You could set out some Halloween decorations. And he goes, ugh, I don't know. It just sounds like so much work. I'm like, yeah,
sir.
And you're a guy. And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, the trick is you do it right before October. And then you get to leave it up for over 30 days. And he goes, I know, but even when I think about, and we all know that we can leave Christmas decorations up for months, but he's like, even when I think about getting the tree out, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. You gotta have that in you. And then I told him,
I don't know. There was one year I almost didn't put up a tree, and Mom came over and helped me put it up.
Well, there was a year I didn't. We had just moved, and it did not happen. But
I was just tired of doing it myself. I was still married at the time, but I was like,
well, I told him about how you used to keep it assembled in your basement with a bag over it.
I did finally do that.
Yeah.
And that was great when I could.
So I said, do that. And he goes, oh my gosh, I just might. But it is like a 9-footer, but he's pretty tall. So I could see him.
That whole thing won't fit in a bag, but if he doesn't have spiders in his basement, it doesn't matter.
We don't get a fall break.
You don't get a fall break?
We don't get a fall break. We do, but it's 2 days.
Oh, we do get one this year, and they were smart this year and put it around Halloween. So we have the day after Halloween off.
So that's the thing. We always get Halloween day off. And maybe it's just the way things have been falling. But because it's always been near a weekend.
Yeah.
You will get like the day before, or say it's a Monday and you get the weekend and the Friday before, or just the weekend and the Monday. They'll mix it up.
Yeah.
But you never have the day after Halloween off. So,
which is so stupid.
School district, why not give us the day where they have been up all night the night before?
I think we whined about this last year.
Probably. Eating pounds of candy.
Yes.
But this year,
up, they have a hard crash. They're wild. And then you make some teacher sit in a room with 20 plus of them.
We've all seen the pterodactyl meme. They're pterodactyls the day after Halloween. Don't do it.
It's cruel.
Don't do it.
Maybe
I'll just always let them be sick the day
after. I was
after.
very excited to see this year that our break went over that.
So this year mine does too. They have Thursday, which is Halloween day, and they have Friday, which is the day after, and the weekend, and then they go back to school. Okay. And I am like, thank you. Why
did they finally all come together and think, bing?
I think I just got lucky that it's a Friday. I'm not expecting it in the future. But also, give us a week in the fall.
Or let them do one of their personal development days then instead of some other random day.
That would be fair.
I bet they would appreciate that as well.
Yeah. So at least this time the kids can all sleep in the next day. What was your favorite Halloween costume you ever wore?
Oh gosh, there was a couple. When I was really young, I loved being Belle. I had the yellow dress. True. And I think I wore that for 3 years in a row. But I also loved when I was the belly dancer.
That one was
Jasmine
fun.
Costume thing.
Yeah.
That was great. That was fun. Back when I had the 8-pack to pull it off.
I know, right? I was just thinking about that. I feel like I did a lot that I was proud of. Even before I knew what cosplaying was, when I did the Star Trek one and I made my own badge, even though it was out of paper. And I was just like, oh, look, leggings and a turtleneck, and I can look like a Star Trek person. And we had a laser tag set that just happened to look like a phaser. But my favorite, I think, was when I dressed up like the girl from The Ring. And that was my first college Halloween. And I thought, this will be fun. I can wear it to the classes and walk down the hallways and whatever. And of course, no one else has dressed up because they're all adults and I'm the only one still doing this crap. But I just found I already had a peasant blouse from Old Navy back in the day. And so I just used that and bought a black wig. But the best part was I kept that wig in my trunk forever. And I think we've told this story before too, but Nikki opened the trunk one day and was just like, ah!
I mean, I'm scarred for life by that movie, and not because I saw like the regular version or anything like that, but my sister, who knows that I don't tolerate scary movies well,
I'm not ornery at
come
all.
over and watch scary movies for Halloween and bring your at the time boyfriend, and we'll hang out and eat candy and drink and stuff. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And I went to their townhouse, and she was like, we're going to watch The Ring, but we're going to watch the Japanese version with subtitles. And I was like,
you've seen the Japanese version.
Okay, because I don't know anything about Japanese movies or Asian, anything. You're always into the anime and their movies and, the martial arts movies and all that kind of stuff.
And the Japanese one is the original, which is why initially I was like, that would be fun. But boy, do they do their horror movies differently.
It was scary as hell.
It's more of a psychological mind, you know what.
It's a mind F.
Yes.
And it effed with my mind for years.
And
my ex-husband will concur. I've always slept with the television on for noise. But he didn't like that, so we slept in the dark. But after that movie, I had to have the TV on for noise, and we would put a quilt over it to cover the screen for his darkness needs. But I had to know the TV was on and hear that it was a real show so that I could sleep with a television in my room.
Yeah, so they use something called a shamisen, and then they also use a flute a lot. And so we have, like in American movies, you have a lot of background music and things like that. And in Japan, it's like very quiet in the background. So it's very like, it's just like the one stringed thing. Yeah. And it's just like really quiet until like, yes, you get the jump scare or whatever. And they're just masterminds at making everything just more creepy than it needs to be.
Less visually even scary as the American version.
Exactly.
Which I watched about 5 minutes of just out of curiosity and then was like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. American movies will go much more for, we're going to make this visually scary.
Yeah.
Like the Japanese ones are not near like that. And like, even if you like in The Grudge, I think it was maybe because their faces get distorted when they're dead. You look at the distorted face and it's almost comical. Like you want to laugh at it after you've seen some of the things you've seen in our movies. But it's just the whole like ambiance around what they're doing that makes it scary. But yeah, that's creepy. It was definitely a whole new level of creepiness. But if it gives you any consolation, there was a night a couple of years ago where I was by myself in the house, but there was one night where I just like could not shake the feeling that if I rolled over, I was going to see that girl. And it like practically gave me a heart attack. And I'm like, this must be what Nikki feels like all the time.
Welcome to my life.
So I had my The Ring flashback because I hadn't watched it in like a decade at that point. And I just one night just had this irrational thought about it, and I was like, how did that even get into my head?
I feel like the last costume I wore was when I wore Mom's color guard outfit and tried to spray paint my hair blonde, and it was green, and it was just like the sloppiest.
I bought some gray hair spray paint stuff for when I wore my last cosplay outfit to the Botanical Gardens, which after I put my hat on, could not see my hair anyway. So plus I've got like, you know how some old ladies like their hair looks blue? Like I could pull that off right now. So
you could.
But when you put the hat on, you couldn't really tell. But that stuff was just terrible. And I'm like, I remember it was always bad, but I feel like they've gotten worse. And I got it would not leave my hands. Like I took a bath. I went to the Botanical Gardens for hours. Yeah. I then had to go pick up my children from Mom's house, come home. We have the entire evening. After I put them to bed, I take a bath, silver all over my bathtub. And it is still over some of my bathtub.
Yeah, I used to dye my hair a lot. So I did the like balayage thing where, you know, you have your real roots and then it gets blonder as it goes down. And then I put pink on the blonde parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then in between my like actual salon appointments for the lightening part, I would redo the pink myself probably about once a week in the shower because it washes out fast. It doesn't hold long.
Yeah.
And so I had a bunch of pink hair dye left over, and it was real easy. You just mix it in with hair conditioner, you spread it throughout, you let it sit for 15 minutes, and you rinse it out.
Yeah.
But it stains. It stains your hands. It stains, if it falls in a plop onto the shower floor, it stains the shower. So I have a squirt bottle of bleach in my shower.
Yeah.
And anytime I would dye my hair, as soon as I had it all piled up and the timer was set, I go around and bleach all the little spots I made. I'd bleach out my hands, which is, I'm sure, horrible thing to do for your health. But I did it. And then this week, we had a breast cancer awareness day at Ari's school because, unfortunately, her teacher has been diagnosed with breast cancer this year. So they did a fundraiser to raise money to help her with her medical bills. And part of the idea was that you wear pink head to toe, and then you bring in $1. You know how sometimes you bring in $1 to wear jeans at work, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
You bring in $1 to wear all pink, and you can bring in more if you want. So, you know, we sent in $5 and dressed Ari head to toe in pink. And then we took the pink hair dye that I had left over and dyed her hair in the shower that night. And she doesn't have any lightning, so I told her it might not show up super well, but you should be able to see like just a little sheen of it in the sunlight kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, she has natural sun highlights throughout her hair, and it grabbed onto those, so it actually turned out looking really cool and kind of professional because it looks like I took little highlights, you know, and did the whole thing. And
I did that. I did that.
But I dropped a huge glop of the dye in the shower. It's so much harder to do it on her from outside of the shower than it is to do it on myself.
Did you have her standing in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I squirted a little bleach on there, bleached my hands afterwards, and thought this is like the opposite of my crunchy lifestyle to just bleach everything. But that was our fun adventure this week. But yeah, we sent in $5 for the fundraiser, and then Ari and I went to Walgreens, which is why we bought the candy there, to buy her a DoorDash gift card and a couple of her favorite candy bars.
Nice.
So we thought that might come in handy when you're tired and having treatments done. She's got two little kids.
So I saw this cartoon on Facebook the other day, and it's this guy standing at a wishing well, and he's like, I wish for a famous movie star girl, and throws his coin in the well, and Samara starts to climb out of it, which for those of you who don't know, it's Samara or Sadako, depending on if you've watched American or Japanese version, but that's the girl. And
climbs out of TVs.
Right. And so she climbs up out of the well, and
right?
He's running away, and he's like, not that one, not that one. It was so good.
That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing some Roblox game that had the It Clown in it.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, she said, what? Was there a name for the clown or something? Somehow she knew
Pennywise.
It was yeah. She said his name, and I was like, how do you know who that is? Like, it's one thing for it to be a costume you can wear in the game. It's another for you to know who it is. And she was like, I just know that's the clown's name. And I was like, okay.
I saw another cartoon on that where it's like there's a red balloon floating by and like a yellow and orange one in the background, and they're like, it's the one from It. Because you're always seeing like the big deal about the clown.
Yes.
But he's holding that red balloon.
Red balloon.
So all the other balloons are like in awe, like, oh, that's the famous balloon that was in the movie.
I had a boyfriend made me watch that movie. It was awful.
I've never seen it.
Really?
I've never seen it.
I own that movie.
Maybe that's what we should watch. Maybe that's what we should do for one of our drinks. Well, I assume
The Nun was better.
That's kind of why I've never watched the movie. I assume, especially at this point in my life when we have better technology, that it's just going to be a disappointment.
There was some like build up kind of moments, and you know, anytime you see him, he's not great looking. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like, ugh.
That's the thing.
It wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't what I expected it to be.
Like maybe what really makes that particular movie scary is if you already have that innate fear of clowns that some people have.
Maybe.
Which I don't.
Well, I think the book is a lot there's a lot more.
Sure, the book, I could see, like, still reading the book. But, like,
never read the book, but
if you look at, and I haven't either, but if you look at the movie itself and the technology of the time, although I know they did a redo.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like.
It's the redo that I saw, not the original.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe we could watch both one night and just be like, watch the original first and then the remake. And
I think The Nun was a lot scarier for me, but
I could see The Nun being scary. I haven't seen that one either.
That one was a lot more like creepy and not visually gory looking. Like
I was let down by Poltergeist. I had really been looking forward to watching, and I watched the classic one because I think they remade that one too.
I watched Silence of the Lambs once, but I don't remember having much opinion about it.
That's the thing.
It didn't stick with me, and
we didn't watch them growing up.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like if I tried to show my kids like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they'd be like, or the original Mario movie, they'd be like, this is weird. So it's just one of those things where you like watch it and you're like, man, by the time you've seen 3 Saw movies or Final Destination, it just doesn't quite hit the same.
Movie you made me watch was Saw.
Saw was good though. Saw had a good storyline.
Saw was just gross.
Well, it was, and that's the thing. It was the shock factor.
I think one Halloween day
was amazing.
Like, the sequels, like a couple of the sequels.
So that's the thing. I watched like the first 2 or 3, and then by then it's like, okay, that's when you lose me. If the only purpose is to see how messed up you can make the death,
right?
Whatever. But if you've got a good storyline, like the first Saw movie,
like Amityville Horror. Oh my god, that one was terrible.
I want to see Get Out. And people are probably going to be disappointed that I haven't watched that one yet. But I would like to see that one. I feel like that probably has a really good storyline. Or there's another one. It's like a single movie or a single word movie that everyone said was really good.
Oh, man. We've been talking about doing movie theme nights where we do like themed snacks and drinks. And
that's what I was talking about.
Take a different week.
Yeah. You could do that with it for sure.
That would definitely have to be a night the kids were not here.
The nice thing about doing it with Inside Out is it would be very colorful.
Yes.
But maybe next time we plan a little better.
Candy.
And we do the Winnie the Pooh slasher movie. And we do Mousetrap.
Winnie the Pooh slasher movie?
Oh, yeah. As soon as Winnie the Pooh became public domain, someone made a horror movie.
Oh, God.
But then you also have the Mousetrap.
Why do you people have to ruin everything?
We just need one more former Disney. I know Winnie the Pooh wasn't only Disney, but as soon as the copyrights come out and they make slashers out of things that you expect are like friendly childhood movies, there's some movie where it's like a little girl.
Megan? No, that's like a robot thing, right? An AI.
I think she's a doll of some kind. Although after I saw everyone doing the dance, I didn't even know that like Megan existed. And I saw everyone doing the dance thing and I was like, what is this?
They were very much advertising on whatever streaming service I was binging a show on at the time. And I'd see the commercial all the time. And then Ari, there was some family she watches where one of the kids dressed up like Megan. And so then she like knew who it was and just like, I want to see the movie. No, kid. That's not a kid's movie. Maybe a kid wore the costume. That doesn't mean it's a kid movie.
I would like to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Not that I expect it to actually be scary. But I didn't play the games. But there were YouTubers that would play it. And so I like watched.
If we go, we'll have to take, I'll have to bring all of Ari's stuffies over.
Does she have all the dolls?
She has a bunch from some related game.
Well, she has Poppy's Playtime.
Oh, okay. I thought that was connected.
No. These are different.
I don't know these things.
But
and don't come at me. Poppy's Playtime is not that bad. It is creepy.
No, it's not that bad.
But it is not that bad.
No, I've seen some Let's Plays on
game
that.
on the iPad with her before I let her like really full blown get into this stuff.
Yeah. That's
a lot of these things, these characters she likes is just because she sees them on Roblox in games as like suits you can wear, but they don't actually do the things they do in the games or none of that. So.
Well, and especially with Poppy's Playtime, the idea is they were children's toys, and then this thing happens that gets them corrupted. So they look Huggy Wuggy looks like something you might want to hug, other than all his teeth. But like What's her
Mommy
name?
Longlegs.
Mommy
is cute, but
Longlegs.
then
Mommy
she's-
Longlegs is
takes
super
people
cute.
into the darkness. So there's that.
And that's the thing. Like when you play the game,
Yeah.
they want her to be a mother figure because the
Yeah.
whole idea is there's orphans that are taken in, and then maybe eventually they're made into toys in ways that you don't want to. But she was the one that was supposed to care for the kids, and she got mad when they took the kids away, and then eventually it becomes this whole thing where she becomes a monster. So she's cute. I can see where kids would like her.
I already loved Mommy Longlegs. It was the first background on her iPad. I think it still is.
Yeah.
She
She's
bought
been
the
her.
Halloween
Yeah.
costume. Yeah. She wanted to wear it to Disney World, but she also had a Sally costume, and I was like, I feel like Sally's more appropriate for the Disney.
Sure.
Not so scary. Mickey's not so scary Halloween party.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'll be Mommy Longlegs when we come home and go trick or treating.
Right. Do the Disney costume at Disney.
Right.
But with Five Nights at Freddy's, it's like I watched a couple Let's Plays. Watched a lot of. There's this channel that does theories on video games, so I would watch some of the theories just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But in the movie, there's all the YouTubers that have like contributed to its popularity get to play cameos in the movie. So I would like to watch it purely for that fact. Plus, what's his name is in it?
The PETA from Hunger Games?
No.
Oh. But he is, though.
Is he the guard?
No, I think he's the kid that goes into the... Isn't there a kid that goes into the place and figures out what's happening?
I mean, so in the movie, there's a younger guy who is the security guard, which when you play the game, you're the security guard. But he has a younger sister that he brings with him, or a daughter or something. I think it's his sister.
Super confused.
That might be PETA.
DB.
But Matthew Lillard plays a character.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen him in
I
a
don't-
long time.
I feel like, so here's the
Is
thing.
it just in stuff I don't watch, maybe? Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's some celebrities that will take whatever.
Supernatural horror, they call it.
Whatever is thrown at them. Like, cool, it's a movie, I can be in it, let's do it. There are other people
Josh Hutcherson, that's his name.
who will be like, I'm going to wait until something I think would be fun to play. And I think that's what Matthew Lillard does. Because he was Shaggy.
Why does this happen?
And now he's
All these ads.
a character in Five Nights at Freddy's, but I don't want to talk about his character because it will give things
Mike,
away.
whoever Mike is?
Okay, Mike's the guard, I think.
Okay.
Does he have like kind of curly black hair? Show me his
Movie,
picture.
maybe.
That's what I mean.
I'm trying to get out of the movie and see some photos. That's one from the... Wow, that looks scary.
Yep. He's the guard. Oh, that's him and Vanessa. I don't know her real name, but that's the character's name. Yeah, so he's the guy who signs up to work as a security guard.
Okay.
So he's basically the main character.
I don't want Apple TV. I did not mean to click that. Go away.
Siri's like, would you like to watch it now?
Talk about creepy.
That's fair. That's our next wine. AI.
Yes.
It's
scary.
creepy. It's creepy. How about some safety tips for Halloween?
Safety tips. Okay.
Glow bracelets. Put them
They're
on
the
your
best.
children.
If you are driving a car for any reason during the dark on Halloween, just slow down.
Yeah, just go 5 miles an hour, no matter what.
Turn your headlights on.
Yeah. Make sure
Go
people know
slow,
you're coming.
Drive in the middle of the road if you can. Kids dart. Parents can't always control that.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah. If you go to a fire station, I think they usually give you light up things to carry.
Oh, really?
I feel like at least the one by our parents' house did. Definitely look into the first responders in your area. There's a chance they're doing something, and you could even bring them a treat if you want to.
Our firefighters
Thank
will
them.
drive through the subdivision with the fire truck.
Oh, yes.
And they'll
They
flip
did
the
that.
lights on and like pull people over and give them candy and stuff.
That's
It's cool.
That's hilarious. Every time that we would go to my previous subdivision, they would have a fire truck out there.
Yeah.
So that was fun too if you caught that. But
Yeah.
definitely check that out. Make sure that you go to the bathroom before you leave your house. Ooh, I just came up with another thing I forgot to talk about. Halloween with little ones kind of sucks. When they're in diapers, and you don't have to care. But our first Halloween was like practically winter, and we had to put snowsuits on under them, stick them in a wagon, and they probably lasted like 5 minutes. It was not a big Halloween. But Make sure you've got your potty breaks in there.
That's when trunk or treats are better.
Yes.
When they're that little.
Make sure you have a contingency plan. There was 1 year, probably like 4 years ago at this point, where Brandon and I struck out with the children, went all the way down a road, and then one of them started having a tummy ache. And it wasn't like he had eaten too much candy, like we hadn't even done that part yet. So I had to walk him all the way back to our house while Brandon continued to trick or treat with the one that still remained. So always have contingency plans for if you need to separate.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have cell phones now. That's very helpful. Just making sure kids are lit up. Make sure you have the bathroom break.
Have a talk with them about not running in their costumes.
Yes.
Ari tripped on concrete once, and right at the end of the night, luckily, but she skinned her face good, and it was bleeding a lot.
Take a first aid kit with you. It's dark.
We were lucky the family whose driveway she tripped on, they had a first aid kit in their garage.
It's very dark on Halloween, so I would always bring a bag. Extra change of clothes, depending on the age of the kid. Just make sure you've got all your supplies on you. Don't be caught unawares.
Yeah.
Scar.
If you live in a climate like we do,
prepared.
dress in layers.
Right. Check the Halloween forecast. And finger foods. Don't think I'm going to make dinner and then we're going to go out. No. Happen. Do some cute little finger foods. Maybe even pack a sandwich. And that way, after they've had like 15 pieces of candy, you can say, I know you think you're hungry, but why don't we have some real food? That's it. None of that was safety. One thing was safety, but you got to be prepared when you're a mom.
We're just ranting.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Also, if you want ideas for fun things to do, I have run across houses that do hot dogs instead of candy, do wine and cheese for the adults, or like jerky sticks or something. And I saw, I think it was like a Facebook, do they call them reels? Shorts?
Mm-hmm. Reels.
Okay. I saw a Facebook reel where this mom she does this every year. And I'm like, I want to start doing this. She buys the little window clings from the dollar store and puts them on the wall of the bathtub. So you got like little ghosts and witch hats and whatever. She gets lights and lights up the bathroom, purple, orange, green. And she dumps something in the tub, like some kind of bath salt, but it was one that turned the water green. So basically like Halloween colors, and then you flip the lights off on the bathtub and you get to have a spooky bath.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love this. We need to do this.
Ari and I used to do things like that. I bought one of these cheap lights that go in the water that changes colors.
Nice.
And we would buy the Mr. Bubbles color tabs from Walmart.
Oh, see, I didn't know they
them
had
in the
those.
water, and it changes the water color.
Yeah. She had some kind of bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, we would turn the little light on for her and turn off the main light. And
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Okay. If you haven't already, as soon as you saw this guy come to life, gone and bought one of these,
get on it.
Do it. And
It's
scan
delicious.
the QR code. It's worth it. He says a myriad of different things. It's hilarious. Lightning shoots out from his face. Let us know if you try any of the other monsters, because it says like Universal Studios monsters on here. So I'm assuming
there's probably more characters.
I'm assuming there's more. We should look it up and maybe order some.
Yeah.
But as always, you can find us on workingmomswine.com, patreon.com/workingmomswine, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. You know, only the places where we post the actual podcast.
All of the places.
I hope you have a wonderful and very safe Halloween. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.